What's up, family? Welcome back to the YouTube channel, David Yeti, and I'm back with today's video topic. Before we dive into it, right, I just want to kind of take a couple of minutes. Just give me a second. Let me cook, okay? First off, I appreciate everybody who has been rocking with me for, I've been on YouTube for about 4 months. I remember when I first started off, I had no views at all. And I'm going to show you something and I'm going to bring it full circle. So, I appreciate the comments, the likes, and let me just dispel some myths. You don't have to agree with me to watch my videos, to, visit the channel, to comment or anything like that. As a matter of fact, sometimes I don't mind having discussions back and forth, even if we agree to disagree at the end, right? But I want to kind of set a couple ground rules. So I would never disrespect anyone on this platform or in real life, right? So I'm not going to tolerate any disrespect as long as we keep it, above board. We don't call each other out our names, anything like that. You cool, I won't block you. It's all good. I'll let you rock out, right? Now, the next thing is, guys, I've been on YouTube for 3.5 months, and I'm going to show you something. When I first started my YouTube channel, initially, it wasn't for what all comes with YouTube in terms of money, notoriety, status, none of those type of things. My first video was back in September. It was 4 months ago. Okay. My first video was in September. I made this video because at the time, the company I worked for, they was doing like a mass layoff. So a lot of people got laid off, and I made this video to kind of help people uplift their spirits. Originally launched it just on my LinkedIn profile, but I had trouble uploading it to LinkedIn. So I decided I had this YouTube channel that had been dormant for about a year or so. So I put the video on there and it did quite well. This was in September 2024. I only released one more other video on in September. And then I started in October to get a little more momentum and stuff. And I started releasing more and I just kind of fell in love with it. So I'm not here for any of the extra things that I know come along with it. I know it's a part of the game. It's all good. I don't take offense to it or nothing like that. But let's just keep it respectful, even towards amongst each other as we're in the comment section. Okay. Now that we got that out the way, right? Let me come back here to talk to you. Listen, I am not always going to be right when I create my videos, guys. It takes a lot of courage to put yourself out there. So I'll never disrespect any other content creators because I know what it takes. Like, you're going to be wrong most of the time. Occasionally, you're going to get some things right. And I'm cool with that. But I just said about the DeepSeek thing and NVIDIA, losing 600. I made a video where they lost like 600 billion overnight and stuff. If you notice my sentiment in that video, I didn't panic. I didn't panic because I knew, obviously, the stock market has corrections, guys. It's ups and downs, it self-corrects and stuff. And when something that momentous happened, that just happened like a couple of days ago, it had to be something behind it. So I did a little more research, and it came out that OpenAI is now accusing DeepSeek of using their proprietary information. So I have a video here. Obviously, we're going to react to it. And I am very curious about what is the outcome of this, but this is going to explain what they're accusing DeepSeek of, and then we'll dive a little bit deeper into it, okay? Let's get started. So we're going to go over to Twitter first.
Up here from us, and do we need to close the doors on what we're doing in terms of invention and technology?
Well, it's possible. There's a technique in AI called distillation, which you're going to hear a lot about, and it's when one model learns from another model. Effectively, what happens is that the student model asks the parent model a lot of questions, just like a human would learn. But AIs can do this, asking millions of questions, and they can essentially mimic the reasoning process that they learn from the parent model, and they can kind of suck the knowledge out of the parent model. And there's substantial evidence that what DeepSeek did here is they distilled the knowledge out of OpenAI's models. And I don't think OpenAI is very happy about this. And I think one of the things you're going to see over the next few months is our leading AI companies taking steps to try and prevent distillation. And so we'll see if.
Yep. So I had a video that I haven't put out yet where I was talking about Stargate. And in that video, I talked about the amount of opportunities that are going to be available when it comes to AI in terms of jobs and stuff. And so let me take a step back. I don't just do this shit just to be entertaining or nothing like that. Yeah, we're going to have fun. We're going to crack jokes and stuff. But guys, when I bring you this information, it is to help you level up. It is to even the playing field, kind of distill it down to where we can understand it, because a lot of this stuff goes over my head. I speak for myself, right? So I react to a lot of these videos and these situations and circumstances live in real time with you. Most of the time, it's the first time I've seen the information, and I'm just kind of walking you through the way that I think as I'm reacting to it. So with that being said, that is very, very spooky. I love that sound effect, right? So essentially, Deepseek is allegedly accused of the biggest thing, and the reason why the stock market and their stock decreased in value, and it sort of crashed, right? Was because of the amount of money that DeepSeek said that they used to create the model. Obviously, they never mentioned anything about OpenAI or nothing like that. And apparently, in the AI industry, distillation is sort of like a common known practice, right? But not to this extent. I seen a video of a gentleman, and I was going to include it, but I'm not going to include it on there. I'm going to message him first and talk to him and see if it's okay to use it. But he even broke down. I'll tell you what I do. I put his link to his video down in the description because he goes into depth. He is a AI prompt engineer, if I'm not mistaken, but he goes into the kind of like the description of what DeepSeek is saying, and instead of saying made by DeepSeek per se, it says that essentially it was powered by OpenAI in the description. That is wild to me. I'm gonna go to one more.
If the lead.
See, 1 second. I'm gonna go to one more here, and let's take a listen to what the CPO, OpenAI CPO. Let's take a listen to what he has to say about it. Oh, give me 1 second. There we go.
Washington, D.C. They're demonstrating the technology the company has to lawmakers. Of course, this as the Deepseek threat, so to speak, looms large. Plus, the source tells CNBC that OpenAI is looking to raise more cash, this time from SoftBank. Kate Rooney's in D.C., and she's exclusively with OpenAI's chief product officer. Kate.
David, good to see you. We have Kevin Wheel here, Chief Product Officer of OpenAI. It's great to see you, Kevin. Thanks for sitting down.
Thank you for having me.
You did just get off stage and demoed some technology. I know you can't speak about exactly what you were walking lawmakers and administration folks through, but what is your message to Washington? Maybe give us the big picture takeaway from that.
Well, we've long had a policy of coming to D.C. and talking about how AI is evolving. We want to bring everybody along with us. These are important changes for people personally, also for our nation's economy and so on. So that's what we're here talking about. In particular, 2025 is the year that agents will become a big deal. And what we mean by that is we're going to go from ChatGPT answering questions for you.
I had a cough for a second. I'm going to go back just a little bit.
To ChatGPT doing things for you in the real world. So we launched our first agent last week, a product called Operator. It browses the web for you, so it can do tasks for you on the web, whether that's ordering groceries or filling out forms, the kind of things that you just want to have done for you, so you can work on more important things. And then we talked about today a couple.
So, first off, I like the way that he's pivoting too. So what Kevin is doing is in a crisis, managing a crisis. So crisis management teaches you to keep everybody calm, right? So if you notice, he didn't even say he didn't allude to anything about DeepSeek, at least in this part of the clip, right? And he's talking about some of the new research and development projects that they're working on and stuff. Cause so he's keeping the ball moving. A lot of times when you're facing so much negativity and you're going through a situation as a company, but even as an individual, focusing on the positive and what we're working towards, not necessarily what we're dealing with behind the scenes, it's a phenomenal PR marketing move. Shouts out to him. It's awesome. Stuff like that gets me excited because I know that this is not like this is taught. This is not God given. This is something that you can learn how to do. So I just wanted to point that out. I think that's dope.
Of other agentic products that we'll be delivering soon.
I think that adds a lot of efficiency, maybe something the Fed would start looking to. I do want to talk about the elephant in the room, which is DeepSeek. Can you share any more about what happened here?
So if you notice let me go back a little bit. You notice his body language changed because he obviously know the question is going to come, right? But I'm curious to pay attention to how he answered this question. I'm going to bag it back a little bit. Look at his body language as he hears the question. Check this out.
Which is DeepSeek. Can you share
today a couple of other agentic products that we'll be delivering soon?
I think that adds a lot of efficiency, maybe something the Fed would start looking to. I do want to talk about the elephant in the room, which is DeepSeek. Can you share any more about what happened here with DeepSeek and the recourse for OpenAI?
Look, I think there are a lot of legitimate and
he can't really speak on it right
questions
now
about the origins here. And at the same time, there are a couple of novel improvements that they've made. And what it means for me is like my
Kevin giving us a master class right now. Give it. Shout out to Kevin, man. Shout out. I'm gonna call him Big K from now on. Shout out to Big K. I'm gonna rewind this so you can watch what he just did, right? Okay. So you don't have to knock down your competitors or nothing like that, even your rivals. So obviously they're, going to be going through probably some type of legal battle at some point, especially if they can prove that they really did something illegal here. But look at how he redirected the question, controlled the frame, gave them a shout out by saying something positive, and watch. I guarantee, I haven't watched this. I guarantee you, after he gives them a shout out, like they actually made some improvements, he gonna keep it rolling and he gonna put the attention right back on what OpenAI is doing. Watch this. Watch.
And concerning questions.
Any more about what happened here with DeepSeek and the recourse for OpenAI?
Look, I think there are a lot of legitimate and concerning questions about the origins here. And at the same time, there are a couple of novel improvements that they've made. And what it means for me is, like, my takeaway is China is here. We knew that that AI was going to be it's not just a competition between U.S. companies. It's ultimately a competition between the U.S. and the PRC. This is the first, big kind of salvo in that, and AI is going to transform our personal lives. It's going to transform our professional lives.
See, there you go.
I want an AI that behaves according to democratic values. I don't want an AI that behaves according to authoritarian values. So we at OpenAI, our mission is to make sure that the U.S. wins this race.
And with those IP issues,
let's give Big K another round of applause, man. That's big time right there. So to close us out, because I don't want to hold y'all too long, right? To close us out, I think the takeaway from this is, and this is something that I'm working on, right? Having a little more patience, not being so responsive to things that's happening, and more so being, a little being more proactive. So things are going to happen that's out of our control, right? But we don't have to necessarily feed into what the initial information is. Because a lot of times once you start to peel back the layers, you see that, oh, okay, so it's always a reason for something happening, guys. I don't give a damn what they tell you. Things just don't happen just to happen. Nvidia stock has been bullish for at least the past 6 months, if not the past year. Like I mentioned in my last video, I even was going to buy some at one point in time, but I wasn't in a position financially to do it at that time, right? So with that being said, obviously they took an initial loss. My prediction is over time, as we sort of figure out what this means to the AI market overall, as they continue to do their research and development projects, I think they're still going to end up helping the markets here. Because essentially, let me just take a step back. What you seen happen was a lot of the institutional investors got scared, obviously, naturally, seeing the stock price drop that much. It had ripple effects with many different tech companies in the industry, right? So until they find out what's going on, the money is just being reallocated right now, because that's the job of the mutual fund manager, like we talked in the last video, is to protect the investment. The number one thing that investors are concerned with is not necessarily a return on their investment, it's the return of their investment. You never want to lose the capital. If I'm willing to put in $5,000 into a stock, I don't mind if it, obviously I want it to go up. I just don't want to lose the entire 5,000 or something like that. I want to get the return of my investment first, and that's how most savvy investors think. Okay, so I'm curious to hear what you think. Leave a comment down below. I'll see y'all in the next video. I'm out here, I'm working, I'm excited, and I hope you are too. Peace.